Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the What the Football Show. Today we're going to cover that Cowboys game and look forward to the Eagles game coming up. And my name is Scrubber.
Hey, Scrub.
What's up, man?
PH here. Rough game, tough game. We're going to talk about it, kind of go over it a little bit, not dwell on it, look at the implications, kind of look at what it means for us going forward, not just this season, but for next year.
Yeah.
It's pretty important that we finish strong on these last two games. Got the Eagles next week. You'll be live streaming that bad boy.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, let's get to it, man.
Ouch.
That was a rough one, man, and we were kind of calling it live.
Yeah.
Cowboys had their way.
Yep.
It was brutal. We're missing a lot of guys. No one wants to hear those excuses, but we were, and a lot of teams were. And I have to tell you what, man, there's a couple teams, Houston Texans,
Yeah.
had a lot of players out with COVID, and they're not a great team. And they rose up and they punked the Chargers.
Yeah, they did. That was crazy.
Yeah, so there's some teams battling COVID that did well. I think there's other things going on with the Washington football team. I think the short week didn't help them.
Yeah.
The injuries were rough. I was kind of looking. It's kind of funny. You kind of look at who you kind of had at the beginning of the season. Every team can do that, and it happens to every team.
Yep.
I mean, if you look at the who teams had at the beginning, and then you look at week 16, and go, wow, a lot of guys missing. But on offense, I mean, we had 6 starters out of 11 that started the season. I mean, we've really, our tight end, our quarterback, our center, our guard. I mean, we've got a lot of guys are just gone. I mean, we're on our 4th-string center, who's playing well, by the way.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying. And here's the other one. I was looking at on defense from the beginning of the season. When William Jackson was the right corner, when Benjamin St. Juste was the left corner, we had Cole Holcomb and Jamin Davis and everybody. Against Dallas, we had 4 guys left from them days.
Damn.
That's who Dallas beat. And hey, they won. They did good.
Yeah.
They romped. They executed. Hey, they got the win. They deserved the win. But I'm just saying, that's who they beat.
Yeah.
And they got a little hyped, a little excited about it, and that's fine. But they were hurting, and we've lost a lot of guys. But let's. I don't think there's much to talk about on a game like this going back. There's not much we can say.
Yeah.
You know what? A lot of teams, a lot of times and this happens, a team just gets blown out and beat up. Except for a few things, a lot of times coaches don't even go back and look at the film.
Hell, I don't even go back and look at it.
Yeah, they tear it up. They say, "Look,
it's a fucking nightmare."
Guys, they tear it up and say, "Hey, look, guys, it was a bad game."
And that's like 3 games in a row, though, like that, which really hurts, too. We had to let go of that first Dallas game and then tried to shake off that fucking Eagles game. And then this thing, it was like, oh, my God, dude, it was almost too much. And to me, I think, we were down people. I think there was other things involved in this, in the background. There's something. I mean, it may not be like a bad thing, but just some overhanging malaise, when you tie it all together with this. I think that the Shazer Everett thing had fucked everybody up. That's what I think.
Totally.
Part of it. And then fucking Montez Sweat's brother just got fucking shot the other day. Now, I don't think that was before the Dallas game, but holy shit.
You're right about the Shazer Everett, because Jamin Davis was supposedly having symptoms of COVID, and they let him take off the game.
Yeah.
But the word was he was somewhere around that accident.
He freaked out. They were following behind him. He probably went and saw her.
And let me tell you, you see a car accident, and it's a friend of yours, and then someone is dead. I mean, it's bad enough to read about it, but if you're there, and he's a young man,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to see that. I'm
It's
64 years
devastating.
old.
It's hard to
Awful.
do, dude. I walked up on a couple things that were pretty gnarly, and it had, and it just has an effect on you, and that's what I think had an effect on him, and he was with somebody else too.
Yeah, and then you talk about the whole team. The Shazer's in there. He's a veteran. He's a great guy. They love him, and
Yeah.
so like you said, that casts a pall over the
And
team.
she, of course, is part of what was going on with that team too. If she was, I forget what she was, but some kind of sports medicine type
Yeah,
person or something. So she was probably involved with the team pretty
without a
much.
doubt.
Everybody there must have known her.
Everybody in the locker room, coaches and
Yeah,
players, knew who she was. So there's
yeah,
that. Yeah, that's devastating. Oh my gosh, takes months to get over
yeah.
something like that. And yeah, so that, and then the whole 2 weeks of COVID. I mean, we were just guys in, guys out. And then, even though it's mild symptoms, guys were sick. They even
Yeah.
said it.
Hmm.
Guys said, yeah, I didn't feel that great, but I feel, when you come from forget COVID, when you come off a cold or a
Yeah.
flu and you say, hey,
Anything.
I'm better, man, I'm better. But guess what? You go to work, you go play football, you're not up to snuff. You're,
Yep.
you're okay to you're okay to perform, but you're not the guy that you used to be. You need another week or two to get better.
Hmm.
So yeah, you're right. And then the frustrations we know about the little sideline thing, with Jonathan Allen
Yeah.
and Deron Payne. These guys
Yeah.
were teammates at Alabama. They've known each other for a long time, and they both expressed it quite well. Hey, two brothers. Sometimes, one, just takes a little thing between two brothers, and something flares up. But it's
Yeah.
it's it's right in the moment. It's not a long simmering feud. It's not a sign of some ugliness.
They
But
went
once
out and played
again,
some more together. I
yeah,
remember. I think I was calling the game when they went out there. I was like, "Oh, there they are. They're side by
yeah,
side." It was like the
yeah,
next defensive snaps, and there they were. And they kind of, I think Allen looked over, and then he moved over, and they jumped into their gaps where they were supposed to be, so they were still doing the job. Like right after that, I felt like so. I felt some relief from that. So, but
yeah.
that's
And
what
I
these when operating in regular conditions, these guys will get along, and even the little things won't even bother them. But you throw those couple things on top of that, and we've talked about this team battling back through whatever within the game, within the division, within the season, within all these areas where they've had to keep overcoming the next play, this penalty, this person being out, this injury, all these things, and they keep persevering. Well, fuck, you can't do that forever.
no,
That's not an unlimited. There's a point at which you come to that you keep giving more. Go ahead. You're not going any farther. The engine's running at 100%. Now it's just going to come off the wheels. And then to go up against Dallas, kudos to them. I know they're a bunch of dicks, anyways. I don't care for them. They're douchebags. But they were a better team that day. They just fucking had just at will over us, and you could just see it. And
yep.
it's a train wreck that you have to sit there and watch. And so, under all those circumstances, with everything that went on that day, I give them a pass.
I do too.
What are you gonna
I do too.
do? Yell and scream like these guys on Twitter and whatever who start calling for mock drafts, and the season ain't even over and shit. Fuck them guys, man. Let
Yeah.
these guys finish out the season. What they're doing, they had a bad one, and if these people on Twitter and on the mainstream media can't see what these guys are dealing with, I agree. Everybody else is too, but you would be able to say, yes, they reached their point. We actually feel bad for them for trying so
Yep.
hard and getting to this point and then coming apart. Instead, what the mainstream media and these Twitter people do is shit right on them. Oh, that's what they need now. Is you shitting on them as well. Good job. You know what I mean? And we're not going to do that here.
No, we're
We're
not because we
giving
can.
them a pass, man. They did
Yeah,
their
and it
best.
happened. They did, and they did. They met Dallas. Was really, and Dallas played much better than the first time we played Dallas, because even though their defense got up on us, we came back to that 20-3 in the second half.
Yeah.
Well, this Dallas team was playing really good, and it
Mm-hmm.
was sort of, unfortunately, is we weren't up for the challenge,
Nope.
and they were really hitting on all eight cylinders, and so it was a bad combination.
That's how it is.
And yeah, and as far as the blow up on the sideline, every ex football player I watched, um, on comments on broadcasts. Even Chris Collinsworth said it. Some other people said it. That's nothing. That happens in practice. Happens during games.
Yeah.
You flare up, and they said within minutes it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in the competition, and they just said that's nothing to worry about. Most of them said that it's just going to happen. There's no underlying drama.
Yeah.
There. And when you're getting beat that bad, there'll be some hurt feelings and some pissed off people.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I remember earlier in the season from several teams. There's a couple teams that just got out and out brawls during their
Yeah.
preseason stuff. So I forget who that was, but I know a couple teams were actually throwing blows with these. So it does happen. So
Sure it does. And really, when you think about the whole thing, everything, the frustration, the battles, the COVID, tons of players unable to play, all of our starting linebackers like gone. You know what I mean? When you see all that, a little sideline skirmish is nothing.
yeah,
You know what I mean? That's minor. They all showed up, just kept playing their hearts out.
yeah.
So I think on offense, it just didn't seem to click, and I think that really came a lot from Heineke.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on with him that day, boy.
I think he just had. He just looked like he had a hangover to me.
That's what I was saying.
He just didn't look like the same guy.
No.
I don't. I just like I said before. You battle the flu, and you're finally you get through with it 7 days. By Friday, you've worked all through. You're fine. You got Saturday and Sunday, and Monday you go to work. Well, Monday you still feel like you're not the same guy, man. I don't care what anybody says. Yep. So what if you're done? You're not, and that's kind of I feel that with Heineke, kind of battled through things, and he just didn't seem like himself. Because, forget, his quarterback rating, his passing percentage. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about his demeanor, his look. Yeah, he's a spunky
I said it
guy.
during the broadcast. I said, look at him. He doesn't even look like he's there.
He doesn't. And I bet you what? I bet you Kyle Allen wasn't much better. They both caught it about the same time. And I can't imagine, they both were probably just kind of got the hangover from it. And I really do think that just bled into the rest of the offense. It was just too much to overcome. Defensively, man, like I said, man, you got all your linebackers are gone. When you look from the beginning of the season, Bostic, long gone. Holcomb was out. Jamin Davis was out. Your strong safety is out. Both your starting corner, William Jackson, Benjamin St. Juste, gone. I mean, there wasn't a lot there, man. Oh. So, this will be interesting to see these next two games.
Yeah.
Because we believe, forget about the draft pick. Because like you said, on Twitter, hey, if we lose these last two games, we could get the 7th pick.
Fuck that.
What?
Yeah, no.
Morons.
You go out and you play football and you fucking win is what you do.
Yeah, and then you get, like some people, we're going to get the 8th. We're going to get the 14th instead of the 8th. Go look at the last 20 draft. Go on Wikipedia. Spend an afternoon looking. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Actually, next year we're going with all the same guys again anyways.
Yeah. It's like, it's like it doesn't make any difference. Teams miss and strike out.
Yeah.
I mean, the first pick in the draft. I mean, I'm sorry, man.
No, fuck that.
Who's the guy for Baker Mayfield was the first pick in the draft? You want him? You want that guy for your quarterback?
No. You want that to happen organically, dude.
Yep.
You want that to happen organically. You want to look at everything. If you were to ask me right now, I thought Heineke was doing good, but he's one of the he's close to being there, but he's not quite there. He's like that wrestler that looks really good and has all the things that you think he should be able to make it, and he just doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't know what that is, and I'm not sure if Heineke does have that full get that next level squeezed out of him. He had plenty of he's got plenty of power around him, so he should be able to tie it together. But I don't know.
I agree. I think for finishing out the season, he'll be fine. It'll be very interesting to look at the quarterback situation. We talked about it early when we were on Grossi. I mean, he asked us point blank, and that was back then. What was that? 7 weeks ago? 8 weeks? I mean, we even said then, might be looking at a quarterback in the draft.
Yeah.
Might just be doing it because we're not really sure, and we're still not. Um,
And so for
but
Heineke, and his place in this is as a second string guy. He's your
yes,
that's what you want for the second string guy.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Even Kyle Allen. Keep both of them, and then maybe look to. I don't know if I don't like rookies
yeah.
as
But then,
quarterbacks. I don't like that.
right, I don't like a free agent quarterback.
Yeah.
Because if you got to get, who's going to be the top free agents? Well, we know we got Russell Wilson's. Aaron Rodgers could possibly
Yeah.
peel out. You're going to get a washed up Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and they all have these, 75 to 110 million dollar contracts. So then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, Brandon
Don't want to
Scherf
get
wants
saddled
them.
for that.
Yeah, because all of a sudden you look at Brandon Scherf. Hey, sorry, man, we can't pay you. A couple of years later, you got a guy like Cam Curl. You want to extend him.
Yeah.
He's so good. Oh, we really can't. Let's hold off and maybe we can franchise tag him.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Do you really want to operate that way? So, yeah. So I hear you, man, rookie quarterbacks. I mean, and this isn't a strong quarterback draft anyway. But regardless,
Yeah.
there's still more questions to be answered at the quarterback position. And along, not just, everyone on this team has to step up for these next two games. And Taylor Heineke especially.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, show us what you got.
Yeah, he can salvage himself. He can, like if everybody's having a hard time, he's having a hard time through all this. But that game against the Cowboys, he just looked fucked up. Now, if the fucked upness looked like from COVID, and then maybe he knew DeShazier Everett or was somehow or something like that, I don't know what's going on. So if that had an effect on him, and he turns around these next two games and goes back to what he's looking like, then that's what I mean by organically with this stuff. You kind of want to look at, is this a continued phase for him where he's not going to finish out these next two games kind of half-ass, or does he catch on fire again here and get his shit together? Because I'm sure he's realizing now he's actually, with these last two games, is auditioning for his job again, basically.
He is. He really is. And like you said, could he go back to be the guy that beat Tampa Bay, beat Carolina?
Yeah.
That guy was great. I mean, he wasn't, Bart Starr, he wasn't Johnny Unitas, but he was really damn good, and we were loving it.
Running our offense the way we wanted, because the defense holds the other team to low points. And then we said this from the get-go: we just need the guy to run the offense with these drives and score points, even if it's 3. The idea of even if it's 3 or 7 is because your defense is so good. You don't need to, so you just kick those field goals and you just win the game like that. You just keep going down so you really don't need like the star, like you said, the Russell Wilson,
Aaron
Rodgers and people like that. So the only thing would be a draft guy that actually fits into what you're going to do. And then you may want to go for something like that, but you don't want the stand in the pocket guy for our team or something like that. You want the guy who fits our scheme. So I don't know. I'm willing to give Heineke a chance.
I am too. And like you said, great second stringer. And, maybe when the time comes, we get a rookie and tell Heineke's going to start. That's the kind of, it could be a fluid situation. But for now, he should be able to do it. I mean, he did it before. He was fine. Mm-hmm. Another thing, too, we talked about the Everett situation. We talked about the COVID situation, but also short week. And on the road.
Yep.
And that, it really screws up your schedule. The preparation, getting ready, the time, the reps. It's not the same.
It's a million things. And you're playing the fucking douchebag Cowboys.
Yeah.
You got to go down there to that crowd. And, God, yeah. It's almost like you just say, hey, we're not going to come down.
Yeah, we're not ready.
We're not. We hate you guys. We're not going to give you the satisfaction. So, yeah, it was tough. So I think, it's no real reason to talk about anything that happened during the game. So looking forward, unless you wanted to cover anything about Dallas and what a bunch of douchebags they are. So,
I'll talk about that in a little bit. I'll just say real quick on offense. Let's talk. Unfortunately, I think, J.D. McKissick is on IR. So he's not coming back. He probably won't be back unless we can make the playoffs. Brandon Scherf's back. and Tyler Larson, the center's back. Now we know he was our number 2 center. So I don't. There's an Ismail thing going on.
Yeah.
Maybe Tyler Larson, probably a more accomplished center. I mean, he was a second stringer for a reason. Nothing against Ismail. So that's 2 good things. I mean, if Tyler Larson goes in,
I think
that's awesome.
Tyler Larson, you may want to double check the injury report or something.
Yeah.
I think he's
No,
out.
no, no. I saw a thing that said I saw an it was actually on the it was from Twitter from the Washington football team. They announced some moves, and I thought it said Larson and Scherf back. I'll
Oh,
double
okay.
check
I
it.
thought they were
I'll double
saying.
check. Yeah, but what was weird? Yeah, no, no, I saw him back on there. So, but yeah, I could be wrong, but I did see that he was gone, but unfortunately JD is out. So,
Damn.
but yeah, no, that's
And
it
we didn't have
for you.
JD the last game. Sorry to go backwards.
No, we didn't, and now
Wow.
we don't have
That's
him
a
really
huge
for the
piece.
huge piece. So, well, let's talk. Want to talk real quick about defense? I mean, not much to talk about except we were just so shorthanded. And I don't think we want to really make a big
No.
deal out of it. We
No.
talked about it. Like I said, there's 6. What is it? 4 starters from the beginning of the year were there, and the rest we've all replaced. So,
Yep.
but the good news is, 2 guys that we didn't have, Holcomb and William Jackson are back.
Coming up for the Eagles
Uh,
game.
Yep. Jamin Davis, I think, will be back. He was never really. I think he was just inactive because I just think he was shook.
Yeah.
He was just inactive. Bad news. Landon Collins on IR. Another guy,
Yep.
Landon Collins, just like JD, could come back for the playoffs, but really for the next 2 games, they're gone. But we got William Jackson, we got Cole Holcomb. I think Jamin, hopefully he's feeling better. He'll be back. So these are good things. So I think we're going to really be getting our best guys back. We're going to be playing at home, and it's going to be a revenge game. So I
Yeah.
kind of like
And
I
a
kind of like
spoiler
our
game.
D. Yeah, and our D is got some of our key guys back. Our D line was back last week, but I think there was just with all the behind the D line with all backup linebackers and then just second and third string
Yeah.
corners. It just was too much to overcome against a team like
David
that.
Mayo did good. I
He
had to
did.
give
He
him
actually
kudos.
did.
He was in there a lot. You could see his
He
name,
was.
and he had the green dot.
Yep. And he did really well. I mean, and
Yep.
props to him. I mean, he did a really good job. But too much to overcome, especially against Dallas, man. I mean, that is a dynamic offense. You got 3 stud receivers, solid tight end, very
Yeah.
good quarterback.
Yep.
It's really tough when you've lost that many people in the backfield. So,
Yep.
so anyway, but the good news, we got a bunch of guys coming back.
Hell
And
yeah.
even though, and same thing, a bunch of guys came back against Dallas, but look, they'd been a week on COVID. A lot of them had symptoms. Even though they're like mild flu and cold symptoms,
Yeah.
you're still sick. These guys are human beings. I don't care if they make $8 million a year.
Yep.
When they get the flu, it feels the same way as it does to them as it does to us. So, but Dallas, I'll make a quick take on Dallas. They had some people were complaining about running up the score. I've never, ever had a problem with running up the score. My whole thing is if you don't like people scoring on you, then stop them.
Yeah.
If you don't want them to get the ball back, get a first down. Don't go
Yep.
3 and out. That's on you. If you lose, someone puts 40 or 50 on you, that's your fault. You did that. But they did it. They ran it. I thought it was a little Hollywood, a little overdone, overhyped for a team
That's
that's
how
going
they
into
are.
team that's going into the playoffs. I thought it really showed me a lot about them. That you want to be tough and ready. If you're beating a team that is definitely at a great disadvantage, hey, beat them, but don't go nuts. Don't they did a tackle eligible touchdown play. I mean, the tackle comes in as an extra blocker, but then
Yeah.
because he's not on the line, he can shift out and he gets a quick touchdown. Number one, there's 2 things. Why would you run that play when you're just destroying a team? Why wouldn't you save that for the playoffs? Why put that out there for everyone to see?
Exactly.
Yeah, and then number 2, why? I mean, you're dominating this team. Why use a
Right.
trick play
Your
to
boy
beat
should
them?
be able to run it up the middle and score the touchdown. You're that
And
close.
so, yeah, that just goes. See, that goes to the core of what they're about. And then finally, I just happened to. It was just kind of I don't know how I stumbled upon it. I look at a lot of Washington football team stuff, and I was on YouTube, and they showed their locker room celebration. And
Oh
Jesus Christ,
God.
I thought they won the Super Bowl, dude.
Oh
They were
God.
just
Ugh.
they were so high. It'd be like if we beat Jacksonville,
Yeah.
and I saw the Washington football team in the locker room screaming and high fiving, I'd be so freaking embarrassed. Like, dude, it was Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Settle down.
Yeah.
And these guys, but you know what? It's great. I
Yeah.
love it because you want to be hype, you want to be all this, and you want to be all that. Fine, take that attitude into the playoffs, and then the first time you get punched in the face, all that Hollywood, all those gimmick plays, and all that doesn't mean crap in the playoffs. No one
Yeah.
cares. It's hard-nosed defense. It's running the ball. It's having you got to show heart and you got to show guts and whooping on a team that you have a huge advantage over and high-fiving and having a great time, that's fine. Hey, you won. But it goes to sort of who you are as a football team. And that's
Yeah.
going to come back and bite them in the butt.
Well,
I guarantee you in the playoffs.
that's one more layer of douchiness on them.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I mean,
it's not. It's expected almost
it
that they'd
is.
be like that. Stepping on the gas a little hard and being dicks about it instead of just winning the game, running down there, scoring, doing the thing like you're supposed to. The
Yeah,
overreacting in the locker room, that kind of stuff. That's just that typical douchey kind of stuff. And the only thing that is I hate to see them getting away with it, at least for the time being. You know what I mean? When you feel like your team should be the good guy team and they should be the bad guy team, and but they won, and so that's just makes it that much harder to take. So
it is.
yeah,
But like I said, yeah, I know that lump in your throat, just hold on to it because when the playoffs come, we're going to see it. They're going to be in a tough knuckle, just a tough fight in the playoffs against a tough team and all that Hollywood America's team stuff. No one cares about that. That's like getting all hyped. That's like getting your team hyped on what someone said during the week. Oh man. Oh,
yeah,
we're gonna kill them. Oh, no one. The other team. No one cares. We're grown ass men, man.
yeah,
Stop it. Yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, that's my little rant about Dallas. We'll be able to watch that and see that as it comes. So let's talk about the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, at least this one will be at home. At least the boys
Thank
will get to
goodness.
sleep in their own beds and
Yep.
they'll have the whole week to recoup. So
I
we
think
should have
so. And
almost a full crew.
full crew. I mean, it's looking really good, solid, top to bottom.
Yep.
Everyone will be there. We played them just a couple weeks ago, and they did really well, beat us. Um, had some fun, but they were the better team. So there's a little bit of a revenge factor. Also, we've got a lot of film on what they did to us. So that's really good. So coaches now, especially Jack Del Rio and his staff, because we really did not react to that RPO stuff very well.
Yeah,
They
they ran all
RPO'd.
over us.
Yeah, and we were going this way, we were going that way. It just sort of fell apart. The holes were huge. I was stunned. Never seen them do that this year, where they just almost couldn't seem to stop the run. But I think they really just didn't stick with their assignments. They didn't stick what they were supposed to do. They went off track, and they didn't react quite well to that run play option stuff with Jalen Hurts. So I think hopefully they're in there practicing tons and tons of RPO defense.
Yeah,
Really showing, doing a lot of that over and over again. We've seen how they did it. We've seen how they run it. Our players can see the film of where they lost their assignments, where they lost contain. And as hurtful as that is, it's actually good. Because you see, oh my God, yeah, no wonder they jacked us up. I was out of position. I didn't maintain contain. I didn't do my assignment the way I was supposed to. So, it sucked at the time, but now it's good because
yeah.
you can review that film. So yeah, I really expect
And
to
it'll be
see them.
different people really than that last game against the Eagles too,
It will be not a
because it
bunch of.
won't be like shit. We had like who was it, Wise and
Oh
Bunmy
yeah,
routine me on that end, but now we'll have Smith Williams, and we didn't have Two Hill that week.
Montez,
We didn't have
Tuhill.
Montez that week.
Yeah. Smith Williams was out. I mean, it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
we were down to the fourth and fifth string defensive ends,
Yep.
basically. Yeah. So, and that's, yeah. So that's going to make a huge difference.
And you'll
So,
gel to. You can see why they didn't gel as good the last time. Hopefully this time, our front guys, our number one guys, will get to watch the film, and then they should play better. They're used to playing with each other. Of course, they should do better.
sure.
So
Yeah.
with the
And
linebackers behind them again this week, with Landon Collins. Oh no, Landon is out. That's right.
yeah, that's
Damn.
going to hurt us. But, at least we got our starting linebackers, got a good, solid backup in David Mayo. Cam Curl's up there. Hey, maybe they let Cam Curl um, move up and do a little bit of the Landon Collins.
He
You
kind
know,
of does that when he can, anyway.
yeah,
So yeah, he's
why not?
perfectly capable. So
He is, and they know how they run the system when Landon's there. They know when Landon comes up in the box. All the DBs know how their assignment shakes out. So if Cam Curl moves up, takes a second or third linebacker spot, the other DBs have already practiced it. It's just a different player doing it. So, and Cam, so dynamic, such a stud. Hey, I'd love to see him just blowing plays up. Send him in,
yeah,
or get him on the line. So, yeah, that really hurts not to have Landon, but I'm just so glad that Jamin Davis. I think Holcomb really hurt us. He's our defensive QB.
super
Wouldn't you
stud
agree?
boy.
He is, man. He's just this guy that's done everything right, and just sort of the glue that holds the team together. So that really hurt not having him. So he's our QB on defense. He's back. William Jackson's back. Man, Fuller's back.
Yeah, Kendall Fuller.
Yeah, yeah. Our top three DBs coming into season were William Jackson, Fuller, and Benjamin St. Juste, and none of them were in the Dallas game. So
Yeah.
yeah. So they're going to be back, and yeah, it's at home. So let's just see what happens. I really do think they're going to prep for Jalen Hurts a lot. He's good. He's good at what he does, but it's not like he's anything super special. They're not doing anything mysterious. That whole RPO package, you know how it works. You know how it operates. It takes a lot of discipline, a lot of contain. It really does. You really got to be disciplined when you're playing those guys and stay on it. So I feel pretty good about it. I'm kind of excited. I think we all want to get the stink out of the room from that Dallas game.
And
I
have
think
fun
players,
with it too with the Eagles.
sure.
There's kind of a little bit of pressure off them. Like you said, there's some convoluted mathematical thing, but don't look at it that way. Just go out and have a fun game, win or lose, whatever. Because football should be fun for them.
It should be.
And not a chore and people ragging on them and all that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, and it hasn't been much fun for them.
That 4-game run streak was like heaven for a second there, boy. That was nice.
It was. Let's get back to that. So, what? So we're talking. Got to be a 1:00 Eastern game, right?
Yeah, be 10:00 my time here on the West Coast.
Cool.
I'll be, or we can. I'd like to have you at least at the beginning.
Yeah, I'll be there.
If you want to come
in. Do
in.
it. Sure. I sure hope.
Good.
I'm looking at the old phone here, and when I say old phone, I got an old phone.
Shit, I'm ready to get that new
Galaxy
S22.
Yep. So who do I got this week?
Get the Big Daddy.
No, they're going to show me. Unfortunately, I'm getting KC and Cincinnati. Well, actually, they're probably pretty good games. Rams and Ravens, KC. So I'm not going to get it, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. I'll show up early. We'll have more discussions. We can talk about the inactives, any new news that comes up, and I'll be in there in the chat.
Yeah.
And following up on stuff. Let's see.
I don't think I get to see it either.
Yeah, Minnesota's playing Green Bay. I'll get to see that, so Green Bay can whoop Minnesota. That'll be fine by me. I'm trying to think. Yeah, not a lot of. There'll be other games that impact us. Who helped us out this week? Oh my gosh, San Francisco lost.
Yeah, and Miami beat the Saints.
Those. Yeah. So, that kind of kept us in. Those games kept mathematically, like you said, it's a convoluted
Right, but the Vikings
mathematical.
are playing the Packers.
Yeah, so Pack can stick it to the Vikings.
We
New
need
Orleans, yeah,
Panthers to stick it to the Saints again.
yep.
Would it be
Why not?
nice? Cardinals beat
Yep,
the Cowboys just because.
just for fun, sure. And
Uh, and
who
then
else
the
is who else are we competing against for that last spot?
well,
San
we're
Francisco. San Francisco, obviously, if they lose again, now they're really starting to creep into, uh,
they're playing the
you know,
Texans. You can
hey,
hope the
that,
Texans beat the Chargers. They got to
hey
have
man,
something going for them.
they
They were
got
shitting
to.
on the Texans all this year.
Yeah, and they had like 23 players on the. They thought we were bad. They had a ton of guys on the COVID list. So,
Yeah,
well, you can just hope and pray they take them lightly.
yeah.
And then I'm trying to think, Carolina.
It's like
Yeah,
in that movie Dumb and Dumber, where he asks the chick, what's my chances with you, and she says 1 in 1,000,000. He goes, all right. there's that one
exactly.
in a million chance. I'll take it.
Wait, I,
Thank
I got I got one chance.
you. That's right.
I'm
And so if the
taking it.
convoluted math works out and people want to shit in the bed and lay down and let us step a little forward, I don't know. I'll
I'll
take
take
it.
it. Hey, and like you said, just win and
Just
forgetting.
win.
Yeah,
Have
because
fun, actually,
you got
at
to
this point.
have fun and you got to do it for yourself, your teammates, your staff, your city, your fans.
Yeah.
You owe it to all them. Owe it to yourself. Get out there, have fun, and whoop the Eagles. Play like we were playing during that 4-game win streak, and show folks that wasn't a fluke.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That
And let's leave this season with a good taste in our mouth.
Yeah, and what's great about that, if they beat the Eagles and these other teams lose, and that's what's fun about football. Then we're going to then the last game of the season, we're going to play the New York Giants,
Yeah.
and we know now we know it's convoluted, but it's less
Yeah.
convoluted.
Yeah.
But we can follow every game.
It'll be
If
fun.
they beat them, if they beat them, and we win,
Yeah.
ooh, it could happen, and
Yeah.
that would be a blast.
Yeah.
I would love beating the Eagles just for that chance to roll in on the last week of the season, knowing that even though it's crazy, we could do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be a lot of fun.
Because the
I
Eagles
would
are going to
enjoy
be
that.
actually be playing their hearts out, so we should be prepared for
Ooh,
that.
oh my gosh, yes, man. Because you know what? They win, and they are really in the driver's seat
Yes.
for the playoff spot. They know it. So yeah, and hey, they beat us, and they look pretty darn good doing it. Their D's pretty tough. Let's be honest. So, and it's a division rival.
Yep.
No love lost. Well, cool. That's very. I'm kind of geeked up, man. What day, what is it? Is this Wednesday?
Today is Wednesday.
See, I'm already over last week. I'm all excited
I
and
am
ready
now
to go.
too. I was bummed for a second there. Luckily, I don't go look at anything.
Yeah,
Don't destroy yourself, you people out there, whoever's watching this. Don't beat yourself
yeah,
up on that shit.
yeah.
Let it
I'm lucky,
go.
man.
That's
I'm an old
fine.
guy. I can look at all of it. And then, but I feel sad for these younger people and stuff getting all caught up. And
Yeah.
when I go into discussions, I always do that. I was kind of like, hey, guys, come
Yeah.
on, think about what you're saying. And I always try and counsel them on the draft thing. Oh, you don't want to do that, dude. That goes to who we talk about Dallas being cheesy and
Yeah.
douchey.
Yeah.
That's being a douchebag,
Yeah.
losing games so you can go from, oh, we could get the 8th pick instead of the 13th. Dude,
Never.
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 It
You
just speaks to
always
who
play.
you always it speaks to who you are as a team, speaks to who you are as a person. We've all done it. We've all taken shortcuts and easy way out, and we paid the price.
Yep.
Don't do it.
Also,
Do not.
too, you're still auditioning for your job as well.
Heck
You want
yeah.
to lay down like a biatch, people will see it, and you won't have
Yeah.
a job next year.
You won't. Hey, you think Coach Ron's worried about which draft pick we're going to have?
Fuck no. You don't
Hell
care.
no.
He's a
Heck
beast.
no. He is. All right, man. Well, good deal. I'll be there. We'll do a preview.
Yeah. Be
I'll
like
be
15
live.
minutes early.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm retired, bro.
I'm semi-retired. I'm trying.
There you go.
They
You're
won't let
working
me.
on it. Yeah, they keep dragging you back in,
I
man.
know. But I only give them 14, let's see, 4.5 is 9, 13 and a half hours a week I work.
Yeah, you stick it to the man. That's right. 40 hours. No
scraping
way.
by, dude. I mean, barely. So, but it's all good. I prefer it. So, I really
It
work.
is.
Here's a shout out to my people at my work. God, they make working at a place worth it. They're just good
That's
human
great.
beings, hardworking people,
Oh,
just good human beings, and you're just like, yes, it's amazing to work in a kitchen like that. It's so much fun.
well, that's
So,
good. Anywhere, yeah, yeah. I'm talking to my grandson. He has a kitchen job, dishwasher, bit of a grind. But what he always says, and I remember this, and you know this because we were in kitchens early and young, is that
hmm
a lot of times the pay wasn't great and the work was hard. But you know what? There's so many great people, had so
yeah,
many great times, fun
yep,
times, and he told me the same thing. He really likes the people he works with. It sounds
yeah,
like you do, and it's important, man. So
yeah,
I'm happy to hear it.
yeah, yeah. We're all, it's all good. So, Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be what 10:45 your time.
Let's see. It'll start at noon. No, 11:45 my time. Starts at 12. So starts at noon my time. So I'll be there at quarter to 12.
Oh, that's right. It'll be
Yeah.
10 o'clock my time. I'll be there at quarter to 10. Now that everybody's totally confused, all of you people watching, what is it? Two? We're at two right now. Oh,
Yeah.
we're back down to one. That's probably just me.
Dang it.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, we'll be there, and hey, hopefully get some people in the chat. That'll be a lot of fun.
yeah, it'll be see everybody there.
Veronica,
Yeah,
Mountain Man, uh,
Pablo.
Cody.
Who's this guy here? We got Vise Zero. We had somebody in the chat tonight, and I didn't even see it. Thank you, Vise Zero. Said, cool
0.
video. As a Washington football team fan, they did bad.
I
Nailed it,
think we're all.
dog. We could have just
I
come
think.
on tonight and just said, as Washington football team fans, the Washington football team did bad. See you all
Vise
later.
nailed it. He
Thanks,
killed
dude.
it.
That's why
All
we
right,
like our
Vise.
fans.
We do. Hey, man, honest and true to the core. All right,
Yeah.
brother. Hey, it was good. Let's
Yeah.
get ready. I'm
Stick with
excited.
me. I'm going to end the stream and we'll talk.
Let's do it.
Later, everybody. Boom, we are done.